Hey folks, CT5 once again coming at you with a brand new video. This time I thought I would talk about foundation materials as a metaphor. As people with disabilities, many of us have a foundation that we, believe in and we try to nurture as people. Now, in construction, foundations are usually cinder block or as far as the floor, usually talking about concrete. And my question to many of you is, what's your foundation material? As somebody with a disability, what do you tend to believe in? Whether you have grown up with a disability or you, by some, for lack of a better term, accident, I guess, what do you come to believe in as far as managing the disability and just living with it on a daily basis? And practically too, doctors, it seems that some of them know about it and some have experienced it themselves. But many of us as people who live with it know more about it than doctors do. Cerebral palsy is definitely one of them, epilepsy being another. And there are good doctors and there are bad ones. I've experienced both. But, as in building a house, for instance, what's the foundation material and what materials do you, as you get older or as you're finding out more about the disability itself? I mean, what do you believe in? I mean, I myself, advocacy and education, and legitimate education, not just from a book. I came up with an idea that, for example, with epilepsy, no matter what seizure you have, you're being electrocuted from the inside out. And as such, that can cause many problems. In my case, it's caused mild to, I would probably say mild memory loss. And I've had seizures all my life, and so sometimes I tend to forget things, and being electrocuted can do that to you. My apologies for the background when I'm semi-public place. But, there's a difference between neurological and physical disabilities, and so there's kind of a difference in the foundational material. Obviously, you want this to be a firm foundation, otherwise it would collapse. And I came up with this idea, and a legitimate idea, with police officers and law enforcement and anybody legally that would be involved in this, with seizures, for instance, where when you are hit by a taser, the ones that police officers use, the ones that have wires coming out of it, when you fire it and let it go, you just hit it once and let it go. It lasts 5 seconds. And you're basically having a mild convulsive seizure for 5 seconds. I think people who genuinely want to educate themselves about it, to kind of feel what that other person is feeling, at least for a minute amount of time, it's sort of a legitimate idea. And again, dealing with foundations, what sort of ideas would you come up with as far as experiencing for a brief time? Because I know well that many of us don't wish disabilities on our worst enemy, especially those of us who have more severe disabilities than others. I would think at least for a limited amount of time, the practical education is more valuable than academia. And so that's really the cornerstone of this particular video is, number one, what's the foundation of your life as a person with a disability, however mild, moderate, or severe it may be. I mean, how do you believe in educating people? How do you believe in building that particular education? And if there was a legitimate way for volunteers and those who wanted to know more, how would you go about having them simulate that disability? I guess you could use the word simulation, because you can't simulate something like cerebral palsy. It's not, I mean, you can try, but that's one of those physical disabilities that, I mean, you could, I guess, put somebody in a splint and for a day or two, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I mean, that's really, I mean, how would you go about educating the general public about these disabilities and having them become more understanding of them? I think, we all need to do that. And some people will remain there's a difference between, I would say, genuine ignorance and chosen ignorance. Chosen ignorance is just walking away and saying, okay, I don't give a hoot, forget it. Now those are the ones who I guess you could say I would educate, quote unquote, by force. And I use that term very loosely. And I genuinely wouldn't do that, but you really want to teach these people a lesson. But those who are genuinely ignorant, who really want to know more, I mean, I'm again, please, I mean, comments are more than welcome on this. And also, as mentioned previously, you can reach out to me on Facebook, FaceTime, Google Video, and I think those are the primary three. Just let me know in the comments below. Also, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated to grow the channel. I wish I could have, I don't necessarily have any sort of book that I've written. I'm not that particular kind of author. But just reach out and we'll kind of grow as a community. And once again, I greatly appreciate your time. Crippled Toes 5, once again, signing off. Thank you.